Otakuans, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another beautiful episode today. Today we got a banger of an episode. Obviously, I think maybe I'm contradicting myself, but I think this sometimes is my favorite episode, and then sometimes it's not my favorite episode. Well, so I usually say that the mid-season is my favorite episode, but usually it's the what's coming out next season because we get to see some bangers. However, the synopsises are a little wrong sometimes, but we'll see what we get into today. Again, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And then we're going to hop right into the news. We got a little bit for you, and then we just want to get this puppy rolling with what's coming out. We're a tad behind. There's a couple that are already dropped, but, just to inform you in case you didn't know that. So, first thing, a new anime from the author of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood called Yami no Tsuguri is airing in 2026. So if you're a big FMAB, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood fan, the author of that is going to be dropping a new anime for that one. Finally, we get a Fate Strange Fake, Fate Strange Fake episode 2 coming out in January 23. I remember when we talked about the new Fate coming out, I don't know what, 6 months ago? like 6 months ago, and then they dropped one nothing. And so now in January, another 6 months, we're gonna be getting the second episode, which is insanity to me. I mean, you can't drop a Attack on Titan thing on us yet. You're only on 2 episodes, so I don't know. My Hero Academia, there is a live action in the works for that, and I'm not holding my breath. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm not holding my breath. It's My Hero Academia. Like, let's be honest. I don't know. There's so much CGI and money you'd have to put into that to make it good. So, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out like Dragon Ball 2010. But we'll see. Sakamoto Days also has a live action in the works. So that one's pretty easy. It's just kung fu. Like, let's be honest. Only CGI they're gonna have to do is for Sakamoto going from big to skinny. Like,
just a chubby dude fighting.
yeah, like, I mean, we've seen. I'm a big fan. You know me. I love my Don Lee is my favorite Korean actor. He's like a really big brolic dude that does martial arts in all his movies. I'd say he's like the Korean Jason Statham. Like, all he does is action movies, and they look good. So it is what it is. Demon Slayer is now surpassed Superman as the #1 comic book film of all time. So yeah, the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Infinity Castle 1, just topped Superman as #1 comic book of all time. Also in Demon Slayer and K-pop Demon Hunters won an animation award at the AAPI celebration event that was just held. They won an award for I don't think it was best animation, but I believe it was best animation of the year, and they were handing out a couple of those, and it was only K-pop and Demon Slayer that got those as well. Something I'm really excited about: Gundam Iron Blood Orphans, baby. You didn't think that'd be in the news today? I love it. Iron Blood Orphans, for its 10th anniversary, it's going to be releasing a short film called Uror Hunt. Uror Hunt. It has like the little dots above it, so I think it's like a rolled O, like Uror Hunt. I don't know what it's called, but anyways, they just released a trailer. So be sure to go check that out. But I'm looking forward to it. 10th anniversary. I was telling David before we started that I remember when it first came out, and I feel like that wasn't like that long ago, but they're on their 10th anniversary already, and I'm like, ugh. Like, I feel old, man. I don't know what to tell you. I feel old, but I'm glad Iron Blood Orphans coming out. Side note for Iron Blood Orphans, they did have a Gundam event in the city where the Iron Blood Orphans author did show up to it to announce the arrival of that short, so that was pretty cool. Last couple things we got. So Star Wars Visions Volume 3, the trailer just dropped for that. So if you're a big fan of the Star Wars universe, the Vision series is kind of like short stories in different animations and things like that. They just have different stories from across the universe. And the trailer has unveiled a Japanese and English voice actors. So, I'm assuming kind of like that one episode in Visions. I think it was episode 1 or 2 of the first season. They had the samurai, kind of like the samurai Jedi that were out there, so they might be doing something for that as well. Last thing, Chainsaw Man Rize arc had its film opened at #1 in Japan from its opening. So it's doing numbers. I mean, it's doing numbers. We'll see what it does over here in the United States. I know that hopefully they don't do this, but I'm okay that JJK is doing it. JJK is coming out. They're doing that like last episode, or they're doing the Shibuya incident and then the Culling game like as a collective movie. So I don't know what they're gonna do with the Rize arc, but we'll see. I mean, we getting trailers for it during the Demon Slayer movie, so we'll see how that one does when it gets over here. So obviously, just like before, we've told you guys before, every time we do a season that's coming out, we're doing the fall. Every time we do it, we're not ranking or not even ranking. We're not discussing every single anime dropping this next season. This is an opinion-based podcast, and we're going to be doing the ones that we want to look at, ones that looked interesting to us or just interesting to each other individually. And most of the time, same boat, so it ends up working out.
That's a shame
So
that you even have a prelude with that. Sorry,
I
guys,
do
that we
because
didn't put what you
yeah.
wanted to see.
Now I will say, like, for those of y'all who put in the comments sometimes, like, hey, you guys should really check out this one that we didn't talk about. I'm all for that. But there's been a couple where they're just like, you guys didn't talk about all of them, or somebody else that does a show will be like, there's nothing coming out and only talk about one thing. And it's like we're doing, I want to just say this is our opinion. We got about 11 or 12, which was usual for us. It's pretty normal on our end season review, mid season review, beginning season. I mean, like it's all about 11 or 12 because again, we usually fall in the same boat anyways. I mean, that's why we're besto friendos. But there's a couple of loved ones that you like to put on there, or like fat elves that run around, or something crazy, something wild. But yeah, he has to sneak something in. I think there's probably something in here that I didn't catch on to, but we'll see. I didn't do my research today. But the first one we're gonna get into today is called A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. Obviously, that's going on the list. I mean, it's Isekai. This one is a fantasy adventure. It's kind of like a slice of life anime. It's a reincarnated individual. Obviously, it's an Isekai, and he's going to be gathering materials, making friends, gradually building a strong party for serious threats. But it's going to be kind of like a slow burn for flashy powers, essentially, like or over flashy powers. So he's probably, I would say he'll end up becoming broken, but essentially this is just him living kind of like the slow life. It's called A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. So we might get a couple fights here or there for those of you who are big Isekai fans. I doubt there's going to be a lot of fighting. It probably is going to be like a slow burn slice of life, but if you're into isekais, that is something for you to watch as well. The next one we got is A Wild Last Boss Appears. This one is an action fantasy adventure slash drama, and it is a female MC who wakes up an avatar of her favorite MMO over character. Along with her general, she sets out to find her old companions while questioning the reality of her situation. So this is kind of like Overlord meets ReZero, but with more of a twist. We've seen a couple of those, especially in this last season of anime, watching Mahayoga's Apocalypse Bringer one, where he wakes up in his actual game and he has his general first hero that he was with, and they kind of have to figure out what's going on in this world and how to rebuild and things like that. So it's going to be one of those animes, which I'm especially looking forward to. So that one is pretty good on my list. This one has two different titles, well, three technically, two English ones and one Japanese one. So for here, for those of you who are probably looking at my screen, it's Dad is a Hero, Mom is a Spirit, I Am a Reincarnated. And the second title is Reincarnated as a Daughter of the Legendary Hero and the Queen of Spirits. So either one, just look for either one of those titles and then they'll pop up for you. So this one is going to be your fantasy isekai and like kind of a obviously because it's a reincarnated anime, and it's a reincarnated girl who was born as the daughter of a legendary hero and obviously the Queen of Spirits. Conflict arises when the antagonists try to seize control of the spirits. So this is going to be like family power dynamics essentially in like an isekai style. So I'm like just with assumptions here, she's reincarnated and her dad is going to be the hero, her mom's the spirits, and she's going to have to like use her powers to pretty much ward off, whatever nonsense is going around her. This kind of seems like one of those ones that would be a slow burner, but it seems like it might actually be pretty decent. Like it might be one where she actually gets into a lot of fighting. It's kind of giving me Reincarnated as a sword vibe. I don't know why. It's kind of like the little girl in it kind of just gives me the vibe of that one. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero. This one is an obvious one that has to go up there because I mean, with the OP title like that, you got to do it. Again, another Isekai fantasies. If you haven't caught on Isekai, that's our jams right there. So this is a student who receives roles in classes, and our MC is a C-class assassin who ends up vastly surpassing the heroes. So this is going to be like that classical power trip anime or power trip isekai, like Ari Futera or the other one, I believe it was Failed Your Frames. Failed Your Frames. Where he gets like the BS stat, right? And everybody thinks he's weak as hell, and then they send him off, and then he just actually is super OP. Or that other one that was actually a really good favorite of mine. I can't remember what the anime was called, but where they send him out to the forest and they banish him, and then he like cleanses the forest because he sees the miasma, but he wiped out like that whole army. You remember that? And then he ends up getting that harem of girls, and then one of his like wife was her brother was in that army of demons, and she like forgives him. I forgot what that was called. I forgot what it was. They like something about I don't know, but the whole class gets reincarnated and he gets banished. It's another one of those tropes. I mean, we've seen it. We've been there a million times before. But this next one is my gift level 9999. Sorry. Unlimited gotcha. Backstabbed in a backwater dungeon. I'm out for revenge. Ari Futera, right? So this is a dark isekai action revenge. Again, like kind of like Ari Futera. Betrayed in a lower dungeon, the MC gets super high level gotcha ability and summons top heroes to get revenge. It's overpowered, an overpowered MC, probably a lot of fighting, a lot of fighting. I'm getting Ari Futera vibes where he's betrayed in that dungeon, ends up having to eat the monsters to get out of thing, and then he swears to get revenge, but then things just kind of keep popping up to where he has to fight these things and potentially like save his heroes. I don't want to say it'd be like a Rising of the Shield Hero situation where he gets to like body his other classmates, but I hope it's like that because I like this trope. However, I'm kind of sick of the ones where they're like, I'm out to get revenge, and then they never get revenge and end up protecting their classmates because they're stronger than them. So like I kind of want to see him get revenge. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of want to actually see him get revenge, but we'll see. So this next one is going to be hero without a class who even needs skills. So again, Asta. This is Asta, 100%. He's probably gonna get some magical grimoire, but this is your fantasy action power fantasy, which is obviously going to be our MC is not super strong, but is going to end up becoming strong through their power. So the MC is classless, yet through sheer will and effort breaks the system to become powerful. This is the same studio that did Beginning After the End. If those of y'all saw that on, I think 2 seasons ago, pretty good anime. So we'll have high expectations for this one, especially the visuals are looking pretty good about it. So the next one we got is the banished court magician aims to become the strongest. Um, I don't even think I need to read the well, the fact that it says aims to become the strongest can be can throw you off because as we've known in like was it New Saga? No, Scooped Up by S Rank Adventurers. That one, this last one we just watched. For this one, like he aimed to become the strongest, but then when he got scooped up by the other party, he already is the strongest. You know what I'm saying? So uh, we'll see how this one goes. But this is your fantasy adventure. He was once the outcast magician, rejoins an adventuring party, but now with all members are actually powerful and interesting. This is kind of like your redemption arc plus your balanced party. This is going to be again another court magician or hero or healer or whatever it is gets banished from something, and then he thinks he's weak because they all tell him he's weak, and then he goes out and actually figures out that he's actually strong, or they hype him up, or help him through, and then he becomes, who knows. But he's banished. If he's banished, that means they was taking him for granted, and he's actually super strong. So again, scooped up by an S rank adventurer wasn't bad. It was actually decent. Which we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one a little later in the future. So this next one is, may I ask for one final thing? I think this is probably one of the ones you snuck in. Yeah, seems like it. Seems like one of those. Oh yeah. So the genres are romance, villainous, action, drama. Yeah, you snuck that one in right under my nose, didn't you? I know you do, but that's okay. That's okay. We got 12 on the list. That's all we need. So villainous anime. So the villainess is betrayed by her fiance. Oh, shocker there. She returns, embraces her fierce mad dog persona, and navigates noble society. Romance is included in this one. So this is like she goes on a hot girl summer. Like let's be honest. Like let's be honest. She gets betrayed, her heart's broken, and then she goes off and goes to like Louis Vuitton, travels, finds herself. She comes back like a bad bee, right? And she like, she does a hot girl summer, probably struts in front of her fiance. Is like, yeah, you wish you had this, huh? She does the whole like, I know I'm probably gonna get hate for this one, but she does this whole like, I was out of shape and didn't care about my life until you broke up with me, and now I'm in shape, and now I actually like have a good life, side quest. So we'll see how
Hey, that's a
you'll
thought.
actually let me put this out there. You'll see how this one goes, and then you will talk about it, and I will listen. How about that? Now, I didn't even think of this. You actually didn't sneak this one in on me, but it is one of those ones that I'm not going to watch because you told me exactly what this one is just like. So, this one is called This Monster Wants to Eat Me. For those y'all who loved The Summer Hikaru Died, this is essentially going to be its counterpart, but for girls. So, I would assume it's probably like a sign-in, like a sign-in anime. I don't know if they're going to have like boys like sexualized there, like with abs out and stuff like that. But it's a girl. It's hey, hot girl summer. That's the season of anime we're in. Is hot right before winter. So this one is a psychological horror, supernatural romance. A monster, a human-like creature, is pursuing our main character. Fear, chase, but also has a close developments with that monster in itself. So this is essentially the female version of the Summer Hikaru Died. We're gonna have girls who probably one of the girls changes into a monster, gets eaten, and turns into finds out that she's probably not her friend, and then is going to be trying to chase her, but then they're going to develop like a friendship or something like that, where I would think kind of like a parasite thing, where the parasites technically are the ones that want to take over the bodies, but then our main character in Parasite ends up befriending the parasite, because he's able to keep it from his brain in the first place. So again, this will be another one of those where you watch it, you tell me about it, and then I'll listen and put it on the tier list wherever gonna put that. But I just want to point out that you didn't like the Summer Hikaru Died either. So I just want to put that on the list that you were like, yeah, nah.
Call me
It's
out.
like
Okay.
a very close BL is from what I remember you telling me. So okay, Sanda. It's giving me gotcha kichi vibes. What's that show called?
Gotcha,
Gotcha
Kuta.
kichi gotcha kachi. I don't know. Anyways, Sanda. So this is your action sci-fi dystopia fantasy in Japan with a crash of birth rates. The government imposes extreme world rules. Our MC discovers that he can transform into a powerful Santa Claus figure that fights the system. It's going to be a bloody, over the top, stylish, absurd. It's like Kill la Kill style. It's going to be just nonsensical fighting and blood, and I'm all for it. And I don't care. Come. No, I really don't care. That's all I'm for. If he can put in girl, the summer Hikaru died, then I can put in Santa is killing people in broad daylight in July. So come for me, I'm gonna watch it regardless. Now the last one, or we got two more on the list, or two more on the list. One of them, a switch over, wasn't on our live charts, but it's something that's really interesting that's going to come out. Something I know my wife's going to like. I'm definitely going to. But the second to last one is going to be your Dusk Beyond the End of the World. This one is your sci-fi romance adventure post-apocalyptic show, and is after the war, the world is regulated by a global organization. And this our MC is going to travel with an android, a female android that can fight, and uncovers deeper truth. And there's some romance. So this is your post-war setting, android companion action style. This is giving me like, what's that show? What's that show called? Where had the female android that was traveling around with her companion, and I said it was like decent, but I never really watched it. Like, it was like I made a reference to it being kind of like 2B, Metallic Rogue. That's what Metallic Rouge, or Metallic Rouge. That's what it's called. Yeah. So it's getting. It seems like. Yeah. I remember before I even pulled it up. I remember. But yeah, so it's gonna be kind of like one of those like Metallic Rouge type stories, which I actually planned on going back to that because it wasn't bad, but during that season of anime there was so much more that were coming out that I just wanted to watch that I just stopped watching it. So I kind of did want to go back to that one eventually these days. Now this last one. So this last one is going to be a Disney anime, which is actually pretty surprising. I know that they were putting some other stuff in the works, but it's going to be your Twisted Wonderland anime. This is going to be airing October 29th, so we still got kind of another month to go for this one, but we wanted to add this one in there. And it is based on the Twisted Wonderland mobile game series. This is it takes place with Alice in Wonderland in the academy under the Queen of Hearts. For those of y'all, and I just kind of remembered this, for those of y'all who are on Instagram or whatever, and you see those ads where it shows Alice grabbing the sword and her hair like changes black, it's pretty much based off of that one. So and that ad is everywhere, where it shows like Alice like having her normal hair and then she runs and grabs the sword and the blue flames change her outfit and hair. It's essentially going to be based off of that. And I thought that game looked kind of cool, to be honest, but I thought it was going to be like one of those like your turn my turn fighting games, and I just don't like playing them. So but it's essentially based off of that Disney animation. Again, this is going to be October 29th, coming out a little later down the road. This is your Disney anime meets kind of like the gothic villain verse anime styles. So, you know, Alice is probably going to be undercover doing her thing in a academy for villains. And I know my wife, who's a giant Disney fan, is going to definitely want to see this one. She's actually going to be gone for this. Actually, damn, she's going to be gone for this. Yeah, that's crazy. She's not gonna let me watch it. I'm not gonna be able to talk about it. She's not gonna let me watch it. I'm gonna just watch it. She don't watch our episodes anyways. I'm gonna just watch it, and I'm not gonna tell her, and then we can talk about it. So, because she don't watch our episodes anyways.
You're gonna be like, hey, look at this part. Look at this part. What do you mean? What do you mean? Look at this part. How do you know?
I'm like, I would just be sitting there and just be like, oh yeah, this is funny. I mean, never mind. Well, that wraps it up for our new ones coming out. But again, just like we always do, we will talk about a little returners. Just look out for that episode later. Again, if there's something we missed, then you can gracefully and nicely, you know what? Even if you want to make me a comment, throw it in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up. Throw it in the comment section. And then we'll talk about one of those ones that we might have missed. But look out for our returner episode that should be coming out pretty soon as well, following this one. But we love you. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.